thank you to another edition, coming and watching another edition of Good Neighbors, and we appreciate you for being here and finding out what's going on in the community, how you can be of assistance, as well as, you know what, you can be informed so you can assist not only the organizations, but the community overall. And on today's program, we have someone that we kind of get caught up talking a little bit, but it is all informative, and it is all to help the community, and it's a love that's on her heart and what she does concerning the community. And this is Mrs. Diana Phillips. And hello, madam.
Hello, it's great to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. It's been a while, and we see each other ever so often. They're always like, we have to get together. So we're together. We have to kind of discipline ourselves, but I think we'll get the job done. So you are with the United Way, and give us the official name, because I know most people see the titles and they don't realize that you have a regional name and it's not just United Way.
Yes, the official name of the local United Way is North Texas Area United Way. And we have an autonomous board who makes decisions for our local United Way. We're not the national organization, even though we are a member of the national organization. We don't raise money for them, and they don't make decisions about who we fund or what programs we support. Those decisions are all made by our local board.
Well, you know, and that I'm glad you brought that out right at the front, because a lot of times organizations don't let individuals know how things are formed, how things are taken care of, and especially when it comes from the national to state to the local level. Now, you said that you are area, so what area, what range do you
we serve
work with?
11 counties.
Okay.
And most of our services, though, are primarily here in Wichita Falls. And we do some, like the surrounding areas, like Clay County. We also have lots of programs in Burke-Burnett, or we have some programs in Burke and Iowa Park. We are also doing a site in Vernon this year for our earned income tax, an off-site facility for that. And then our 211 serves the 11 counties. So they take calls from all counties.
Wow. And that's a lot of people to deal with, as well as a lot of information to have. And sometimes people don't realize that you're more than just, we need some assistance financially. You're more than that, especially with the area that you service. Now, some of the areas or the various activities that you have within your organization, I know one of them, of course, is the 211.
Yes.
And some people still may not know what that is, so you might have to go ahead and tell us.
Okay, thank you. 211 is a fabulous service. It's free in our community, and it's a resource and referral agency. And so they have a comprehensive database of services within our 11 counties, and then their database is uploaded and connected to a statewide database. So it's a 24/7 service. It's available free, and it's for everything. That has to do with health and human services. So if you need rent and utility assistance, or if you need quality child care, you can call 211 and they can let you know where those resources are available. And I think this year they're up to about 23,000 calls in just our 11 counties.
Man, that is awesome.
It's an amazing organization, and it's soon to be national. 211 is, I think they cover about 80 to 90% of the country now. So we're real proud that we have it, and it's located in United Way, and we're a great complement for each other. We work together on many things that are really benefit to the community.
Well, I would think using that that type of program, that you'd be able to see, like you said, what is needed, what you don't want to duplicate, and what you can give to someone else so they can take care of it. Now, the 211, I know we're talking about this area, but it's also statewide.
Yes, it is.
So if someone moves from or is moving from somewhere else, or vice versa, they can call 211 and still get the information they need?
That's correct. You are so good. You remembered that, Sametta.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what's amazing about 211 is that because the databases are connected, then say your mom lives in El Paso and she falls and breaks her hip, and you can't get there, but you need a service for your mom.
Wow.
You can call 211. They can connect you to the services in El Paso, and then you can find out what is available there without having to go there. So because of that, it's a tremendous asset during any time we have any kind of disaster. Because the databases are able to, they're linked, and we can, like when we had Katrina and Rita, particularly Rita, when they evacuated Houston area, then all of the 211 databases, they closed Houston 211 center, and it's the biggest one in the state. And so all the other calls were routed to all the other centers, and they could connect and tell where people. It was interesting because people would be calling 211 and saying, we need water for a van load of elderly folks on I-45 located near this exit, and the 211 centers talked back and forth to each other to get the emergency services that were actually needed because the lines were jammed and traffic was horrible.
Yeah, and
but
everyone's
211 is
trying
a tremendous asset anytime we have a disaster.
And I love that scenario you gave with the parent being in one place
Yes.
and the child being in another, or the adult child being in another place. And it just shows, and to me, that echoes the name of the organization, United Way. Working together, being united, making sure things are taken care of regardless of where we are, that we are united. Now, there are some other things that you do outside of the 211, which we know, of course, is also statewide and area-wide, but you also have some yearly functions or yearly events that take place.
Yes, we do.
And that is for everyone to participate, not just someone who's going through something. And I want to say before I even go on further that you always, not you always, but a lot of times people refer back to Katrina and during that time. And to me, and to put it in the mindset of the viewers and listeners, that tells us the magnitude and how great that program is and how it is used for the whole state. Because I could hear when you said, yeah, Katrina, like, that happened how many years ago?
Yeah.
But you never know what can happen.
Exactly, and I think that's great. It's a sort of an assurance that that resource is there and it's available and kicks in when we have great need throughout our community and our state and our nation.
Yes, ma'am.
And so my favorite story about 211, though, is there's lots of them, but during Katrina, everybody was evacuating from Louisiana. And so the DPS put signs along the border, coming into Texas, on the big flashing signs that said, if you need help, call 211. And we had 350,000. The 211 call centers in Texas took 350,000 calls in 1 week.
Wow.
They had so many, they had to open another center, and they were operating like 24 hours around the clock to meet all the needs. It was amazing.
That is
so it is a great resource. But to answer your question about other services, we have other available services. I mean, truly, we are all about our mission, and that's to improve lives by mobilizing all the resources in our community. And so we've kind of changed the way we do our business, and it used to be all about our campaign and raising the money and dispensing the money out.
So you're not just about money. Let's put that out there.
No, we're not.
Yes, ma'am.
We truly are about improving lives long term. And so now we really collaborate more extensively across the community. We have huge collaborations now around our education issues and income, and because with what we see in our community, the needs have changed. And kids are not school ready, so that's a real focus for us. And then families are struggling across this nation, not just in our own community. So we're really focused on trying to get resources to families so that they can have more financial stability. So our communities have changed, and United Way has changed to keep up with the needs of the community.
So there are 3 different, I don't know if you would call them tiers, points, or
focus areas.
Focus areas, and one I know is education. And how do you were saying, yeah, we're helping them learn and get more educated. How are you going about that?
Well, we have actually, under the education area, we kind of broken it into 2 areas, and that's early childhood and then youth, because they're really 2 different populations, and the issues are much different for each of those age groups. And so our early childhood group, we have a huge community focus around early childhood, and we're partnering with the Pretty Foundation to really improve the overall quality of the early childhood for all children. And because we know that it's critical that they be ready to enter school, and our kids aren't.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's a multiple issue because it involves quality experience between the age of 0 and 5. And the reason that's the big focus is because 90% of a child's brain is developed by age 5. 85% is developed by age 3. So all of that between 0 and 3, they're learning like little computers.
Oh, yes.
And so if we can give them the basis that they need, and it's really quality starting out. When they enter school, they'll do better long term through school, and so they have a lot better chance of graduating high school and going on to either a career or to a trade school or even to college. But we just research shows that it's proven that that's the focus area that has the best return on investment. So we put a lot of emphasis on that. And the next tier under the education will be really it's that school age child. And so it's getting them in school, preparing them to be ready to go to school, and then focusing on keeping them in school so that they can graduate and do well throughout their life. And then income is another closely linked, and we see those as being kind of interrelated. And so we work with families, and we do the VITA sites that we've done for the 6th or 7th year at the mall, where we do the mega site. People come and they can get their taxes filed free. And a lot of people don't know, they're unaware of the credits that are available. And these are working families. And so last year we were able to bring back almost $3 million into our community through the free tax filing site at the mall. And then we also get our families into financial education classes to teach them about budgeting. And we assume people know those things, but we know that, again,
when you're going
it's
about
not,
life,
yeah.
you're
and
just
so, and they
doing
don't know
things.
what they don't know. So but they're ready to learn. And so the banks, we partner with a lot of the financial institutions to provide those classes. And so that's been a real rewarding. We have lots of great success stories out of that program. Single moms have been able to get enough of their taxes back through that program to put a down payment on a home. One young mom was able to buy like she said, almost a year. She had enough money, she didn't have to worry about groceries for a whole year for her 3 children. And she said she'd not eaten in months because she was trying to save money so that her kids had food. And she said there were many, many meals that she missed. But because she got a nice tax return back, then she said it left that pressure off.
And you see there, she was trying to budget and do what she thought was best, the best way she knew how. But using the program, the VITA program, just helped enhance that. And of course, once we get knowledge and are able to apply that, then we're able to do better.
It's like, I like to say, it's okay when you don't know what you don't know, it's okay. But when you know differently, it's not okay not to do differently.
That's right. And
so that's kind of how we are with all of our work is on the early childhood. There's been a lot of research done, over the past 30 years. And so it was okay. We did an assessment of all of our kindergarten students a couple of years ago.
And I was going to ask you, you were throwing not specific statistics out, but information saying, it's been researched. And I was going to say, where do you get that information from? Because people may think, oh, they're just
on the early childhood.
Out.
Well, we just brought us a Nobel Prize laureate representative into our community for a business engagement lunch, or it was actual breakfast a couple of months ago. And the stats, he gave many, many stats about that and just said, and so we use all of those research-based strategies because we want to know what other communities have done that have worked. We don't want to spend money. We don't have the money in our communities to spend or to invest it in strategies that may not work. So anymore we look for proven strategies that will really give us the best results in our own community. And so we do a lot of research now, which is a little bit different than the old way we did business.
Well, and that's good, and that's showing the community that you are taking time out to get the appropriate resources needed so that you can apply that information to the community, and the community can be well informed as well. Now, we have another, tier to talk about, but we're getting ready to go to take a break. But we want to, of course, thank you even in advance for coming on. She's always such a delight to have on, as well as to see in the community. And you see that our heart is for helping the community individually as well as collectively. We thank you for staying here, watching Good Neighbors. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.